Hello, and welcome back. Welcome back to Modern Inc. It's episode 28, and today we are finally unlocking Powah. That's right, it's time for Powah, which is still, it will never not be funny to me that the mod itself is called Powah instead of Power, which is like quote unquote a good word play on the word power, but it's funny. Anywho, the reason why we want to do that is I have been facing a few problems. Mainly, I specifically have already said this, but these solar panel things, while they are great at working for now, the problem is they, I can only work at night, or sorry, at day. These stop working at night. The moment it turns night, which I completely instantly get to know, because I would be down here in my mob farm and I would be like chopping away those, zombified piglin. And then once in a while, I would go and check out, oh, and then I'd see the entire inventory being completely filled up. And I'd realize, oh, right, of course, because it's night now, given that our lovely induction smelter has stopped working because it's not getting the power it requires. So now that it has happened, and now because I had already explained that, okay, now we need to do a separate episode on power. Well, there you go. This is it. Today is the separate episode on power. So the basic thing, or the very first thing that works with the power, is our dielectric paste. This is the most basic thing that you can have, and I'll show that why. Because every single mod that we have has a manual, and the manual generally is made with the most basic thing which you use inside of the mod. For example, in this one, we have dielectric paste and we have a book, which is like the book is common. It's just that this thing keeps on changing as per every single mod. So, dielectric paste is the most common thing or the most basic thing that we can have, which we have a decent amount of, you know. And then the reason I wanted to make something better than the solar panels is because solar panels, no matter how amazing ones that you make, like for example, even like currently, I think we are using the basic ones, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe even the hard. I don't think, no, it's not the hard, it's the basic one, yeah. So we are using the basic one, and even if we get it all the way to the nitro, right? At some point, it might still run out of power because, let's say it's night, and then maybe the next day it's probably raining or something, or thunderstorm and stuff. I think the power solar panels don't work during thunderstorms and stuff. Also, another fun reason to not have it is, remember the problem that I had when I made this. Like my entire system regarding this mob farm underground, but this ended up being over the ground purely because, well, my only source of power requires direct sunlight access. So, yeah, today all of that needs to change. Today we are unlocking better ways of getting the power. Now, there are a lot of different ones. So, let me make like the most starter stuff of every single one of the other things which are power generators, and then I can showcase them instantly. Aha, so the other options that we do have, starting from the way that they are shown, we have, first off, is a furnator. Well, this is the furnator over here, and it works exactly as you would think it would work. You put in items which can be used in a furnace, and it starts generating energy. Look at that. We get up to 20,000, and you can extract up to 20 per second or something like that. Perfect. Next thing we have is the magmator. What does this do? Well, I think this one requires magma, as the name suggests. So let me provide it with a little bit of magma, and then we can show how that works. We have some magma, and there you go. You put in the fluid, and it starts generating stuff. Now, obviously, you can automatically, feed this with lava as much as possible. I hope I don't fall into it. Although I don't even know. Is it possible to fall into it? I don't think so. Okay, but yes, we store in lava and we get, energy out of it. Also perfect, incredibly good. Look at that. This has already generated as much as possible. This has also more or less generated as much as possible. So that is perfect. And the third one we have is the thermo generator, which is basically a thermodynamic sort of a thing in the sense that it generates stuff based on the temperature difference which is made. So, how do we make temperature difference, you ask? Well, it should be very easy. Let's say we gather a bit of lava. Why did I hear? Oh, it's a villagers. That's cool. If we gather a bit of lava and let's say we place it down here, that's not, that's better. And we put this here. Perfect. Now, when I add water into it, we have water as the coolant, we have lava underneath it, and voila, it starts generating energy. Nifty, lovely solutions based on their names as well. Rather easy to understand, rather easy to use, and basically these can expand to the biggest versions as well. Like currently we only have the starter ones of all of these, which like generate tiny amounts, if you will. But as in more like once you get to the nitro, these are amazing numbers. Now we have another thing as well, which I also, by the way, in this one it doesn't use up the lava ever. So like this lava is, it's gonna remain forever. All you need to do is keep adding water every now and then because it will use up the water, it will never use up the lava. So it's like literally infinite water you add into it, connect it to a source using other mods like pipes and stuff, and give it a constant supply of water. Yeah, this is gonna run forever. You don't need to do anything else for this. This one, you add a supply of coal on it, it would run forever. This one, I think you would need to add a supply of lava, and this would run forever. So yeah, amazing stuff. And the last one which I do have is the reactor. Well, not enough blocks, you need 32 more. So basically the only way to even start a reactor is you need 32 more blocks of a reactor, which is 32 and 4, so 36 blocks is the lowest. And truth be told, I have never used it, and I don't know if I will ever use it because I feel like that is insanely overpowered. Yes, it would probably solve all of my stuff, but it's a bit complicated, so maybe I might use it someday in the future. But yeah, for now, I think the ones behind us are really, really good. So we don't really need to worry about the reactors. But just know, these are insane. These, the output and stuff on these is insane. Like if you see the difference itself, you have a reactor at the starter which is already storing firstly 250,000 K, right? This one has 20,000. This has 250,000 stored. If you check the stored details, generates 20 Fe per tick. This thing generates 250 Fe per tick, and maximum you can get 1000 Fe out of this. In this one at max you can remove 80K, oh sorry, 80 from this. So yeah, levels. But also the setup required for this is rather, expensive itself, because like these reactors are a little bit on the expensive side to make. Like the uranite is still easy to get, but it's not that easy to get. Everything else for these ones like the furnators and the magmeters and stuff, yeah, incredibly easy stuff to get. The uranite you might have to go around trying to find some, and although we have gone a lot of mining, I don't even know how much uranite we have, but it probably can't be that big of a number. Like look at that, we have like 145 in total, and like every single one of these, or well, every single four of these would require four of these. So yeah, it goes away very fast, that's all I'll say. Now these three are our realistic options, if you will, that we are going to be using to replace this over here and the PC over there as well. Now again, if I do this one, I need to keep on adding water. If we do this one, we need to keep on adding lava. If we go with the most basic one, I don't need to do a lot. Like I could just put in like a lot of coal, which we already generate a lot from killing a lot of wither skeletons down there. So this one might seem the easiest to make and use. So I think we'll go with the furnator, at least for our PC usage over there. I think the furnator might be good. I mean, there are also options, by the way, for me to transmit or transport these energy things. By the way, we have these energy cables and stuff which we can use, so we can have our large, say, nuclear reactor sort of whatever the thing over there, and then we can use the energy cables to transmit the energy over here, and then use those energy cables to transmit over there. And if I take this underground, we can use it to transmit even underground. So yeah, cables. And again, we also have the option of doing it wirelessly. By the way, we don't even need these energy cables. We can just, transmit energy wirelessly, which is one of the most amazing thing, maybe. Like you have these ender cores which work as transmitters and stuff. Like, look at that, that's a player transmitter, and then there are receivers, if I'm not mistaken. It's it is amazing. Like, there's a lot of things about power, but right now what we need to make is a better version of the Furnator so that we can get started on the PC over there. However, I'm sort of also leaning towards the thermo generator. I don't know, because like at best I just need to supply it water, and that can probably be managed easily. But I feel, hmm, we'll see. We'll probably make two of, both of these. We can make like a bigger, better, if you will, and then we shall see which one works out for us. So let me make them, for which I will obviously have to use them itself, and then I shall see you once we have done that. Aha, so one sort of a problem that we run into is, now we can make it up to the basic. The moment we need to get above the basic, which is the hardened, well, we start needing energized stuff. Well, how do you get energized stuff? You need to energize it. Well, how can we energize things? Glad you asked. We have these energizing rods and an energizing orb. Now, the orb is rather easy to make, of course, because, like, you don't really need much for it. But the. Let me go. Like, see, there you go. We already have the orb. The rod, however, also easy to make. Just kidding. It's also easy to make, but they require power and stuff as well of its own. But how it works is, basically you have an energizing orb over here, and then let's say you have a rod next to it somewhere that you place it. I forget how it worked. I think it needs to be placed on top of like, for example, let's we have a Furnator, and I think we can place it on top or something like that. I don't know. Let's see, if we place it over here, and if I put some coal inside, I think it should work. Even I have forgotten actually how it works. Like, I think the energizing orb already has some energy in it at this point. Yeah, see, so we have 10,000 stored already. Like, you can make the basic one actually. Ooh, we have a bit of dry ice as well. You know what? Maybe we can make the basic one. Let me do that. Let's create the dielectric thingy, and then for the basic rod, we will put in this here. Voila! Lovely. Oh, it didn't even require the dry ice. It just a block of quartz was also enough. Oh, well, then I guess that's cool. So we need to put in iron ingots and gold ingots to get this out. So let me, of course, see, there you go. That's the problem that I was talking about. This is the reason why we require better power options. Look at that. Can't use our own PC. Why? Well, you gotta wait until morning. So that sucks. Right. Finally, thank you very much. Now for the energized steel, we require gold. So let me get ourselves a bit of gold, and let me get ourselves a bit of iron. Perfect. And if I remember correctly, you put the gold and iron inside, and then you use the energizing thingy. Voila! Look at that. That's what I thought. I knew it. It just didn't make sense as to why would I, what the hell. Like, I couldn't possibly forget it. I knew I did the correct thing only. It's just, lol. Anywho, we have generation, we have this, and then we have energized steel. So, well, there you go. Live, a demonstration of how energized steel works, if you will. So basically, now we can actually make the better versions, or the bigger, better, stronger versions of these things. The harder Furnator, harder stuff, of course, will require more and more. We can make more, that is fine. But yes, I just kind of wanted to show this before I just ended up making these. It's like the blazing ones would then require the blazing crystals, which would then need to have like, blaze powders and stuff at a 90,000 FE thing done. Like that is a bit of an issue because currently the one that we have, which is the energizing rod basic, well, I don't think that can provide 90,000. It only has 40,000 stored. So the maximum input output is also not worth it. So yeah, I don't think this one can go for a blazing. I'd have to make an even bigger one. But yes, the more power you require, the costlier the materials they get. So let me make the next upgrade at least to the basic ones, and we shall be back. And voila, we have the hardened versions of the thermogenerator and the furnator, which is amazing. Like these are more than enough. Like these will provide us with energy for like a lot of time. Like we genuinely don't need to worry about energy ever, you know, until we go like nuts with our energy production related stuff. Yeah, this is great. So with the furnator, it can provide a lot of stuff. Of course, it will also take up a decent amount of coal, of course, in order to generate this stuff. But look at that, 200,000 is stored first off. And for contrast, by the way, this thing currently uses 24 FE per tick. That's all. This thing can provide, I forget how much does the furnator harden provide. Let me, yeah, this can provide 200 FE per tick. Yeah, that's 200 which this provides, and it's 24 which this one is using currently. So yeah, believe me, we don't need to worry about other stuff for a very long time. Now, actually, let me just make a few energy cables. We have the basic one at 500, which is excellent, and we don't probably require any more. So, if we take this and if we store it, how do we want to do this? I think I can't have it here because then, oh, apparently I can still go through it. Interesting. Well, in that case, I guess we can just place it down here maybe. The thing is, I might have to add in a modular router in order to get this filled up, with coal every now and then. Let's see. For now, let's add in like a stack of this stuff, and if at all there is a requirement, we shall see about it. Now, as we remove this, voila, the power is still getting worked. This thing is transmitting the power to our stuff. Now, obviously, I wouldn't probably want to keep it here because it doesn't make sense like leaving this over here. I will do a bit better system, but yeah, that is the generic core of it. That is the reasoning why we wanted to change it. And now we can also use similarly a different thing over there, because I also want to add a few more items. Instead of just the induction smelter, I need some other more items as well in here. But that will have to be a different episode because I think we are out of time for this one. I hope you had fun, and I shall see you in the next one then. Like, comment, share, subscribe, yada yada yada. You get the point. Bye bye.